Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Europa Universalis. Now this is just the very start of the campaign. What I did, I didn't even do this completely. I basically chose for everybody the two starting missions, except for the two bots, England and Austria, who don't have any. And let's see, so we have the Turks. They have the Last Crusader Bastion, annex or vassalize Rhodes during peace resolution, gain one galley and a claim in the Aegean archipelago or Cyprus. Okay. And then we got the city of the world's desire. Own or vassalize Constantinople, and then at least one of Athena, Moria, Naxos. So Constantinople, Athena and Moria. So Moria is also part of Constantinople. Athena is a vassal of Constantinople. And Naxos is actually a vassal of Venice. And you can see here this very small sign here. That is the same as that of Venice, so that shows that it's a vassal. And you gain a co-province in Macedonia, Thrace, and a claim in Serbia and Albania. You may pay 2 administration to immediately research the tolerance idea. That's pretty cool because usually that would cost 5. Okay. The French and the English occupation. So we can see here, Normandy and Brittany is completely occupied by the English, and so is Bordeaux. England has no towns in Aquitaine and Brittany and Normandy. Gain a claim in Seine and either remove 2 unrest or gain 2 influence in Aquitaine, Brittany and Normandy or Languedoc. Okay, that is worth 5 points. That's a lot, but it's hard to do. Subjugate the French not dukes, but dukes. Own or vandalize Provence, Anjou, Nantes and Rennes. Okay, so these are Provence is down here. They already have an alliance, which helps. It's kind of the first step to vassalize somebody. Let's see. Anjou is up here, and that is basically also part of Provence. So if they make, that is one realm. And then we have Nantes and Rennes. That's also one realm here. Okay. Gain a claim in Burgundy or Lombardy. In each of Brittany and Normandy and Aquitaine, if you own all provinces, gain a core province there. If you gain no core province, gain 2 military. So basically, if you, that basically means if the English are not gone yet, then you would gain 2 additional military cubes. So we could do that to kind of prepare for this, for attacking the English, to get the additional military cubes, but I'm not sure in which order I want to do that. I'm not in the best shape at the start of the game anyway. The Spaniards, La Reconquista. Own all provinces in Andalusia. Gain a claim in Aragon or northern Morocco, or place a Catholic token in Andalusia. You may pay 2 military cubes to research tertios janissaries. Now that is pretty good. That comes for cheap cost then. So it's really good to do that. There are 2 provinces here that I have to conquer, Gibraltar and Granada. And we got the claims in Aragon. Own or vassalize 4 or more provinces in Aragon. Gain a claim in either Naples, Sicily or Corsica and Sardinia, or place 2 influence adjacent to your realm. Yeah. I mean, what you cannot do is you can only vassalize part of an area, right? You can of a realm. I could not only vassalize 4 provinces. So either I can capture the provinces by force, and then I could say, okay, it's 4 of them, or I could vassalize Aragon completely. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought that was, yeah, that would be 8 provinces, and that's a large one, so that counts as 9. So that's not easy to do. There is a card, and that is the Iberian Wedding. If I can get that, that makes it much easier. Without that card, it's going to be really, really hard. So the Poles have recovered from Varna, have 2 alliances, a royal marriage and a ruler, not an interregnum in play. Effect, gain 1 stability. You may pay 3 administrative, is that? Yeah, to immediately search tolerance. And the other one is defeat the knights. Own or vassalize 3+ provinces in Prussia. Gain 2 galleys in the Baltic Sea and a claim in an area adjacent to it, or pay 3 military to immediately research noble knights. Okay, so as you can see here, the Poles start with an interregnum. Now, usually every nation starts with a leader, except the bots. And just want to show you that here a little bit. So we have, for example, here the Spaniards. They have Juan II. And it shows this guy is not terribly good. He has a administrative value of 1, diplomacy of 1, and a military of 2. So that means at the end of a turn, he would get, the player would get, or the nation, the realm would get the respective number of cubes. So that isn't great. For example, compared to the Turkish guy who is really strong, he's got 3, 2, and 4. So that is much, much better. You can also use these guys during battle. And these are the dice that they add. So these are 2 white dice. This guy is kind of special because he already starts the game kind of sick. This is this symbol here. All the other rulers don't have that. So he is already not in a good shape. Here you can see now, during an interregnum, he has really bad values. 1, 2, 1. You cannot use this guy as a general. He would not add any dice. And there's a couple of other restrictions, and just let me show that to you. Here we have the interregnum player aid, and it says you're not allowed to declare war, you're not allowed to enter royal marriages anytime, but you can assign at any time a leader from their hand as a new ruler. Okay, And if you don't get this done, you get a penalty during the end of the turn. You're going to lose 1 stability, and your royal marriages will become disputed successions. What I find kind of interesting is here in the interregnum player 8, you have values of 1 in each category. Here, this is a 2. So his starting player is not that terrible. It's still bad. But what he can do, and this is actually part of his mission, right? At any time, he can apply a ruler. Now let me show that. So we got, these are the action cards. And the actions are here on top. And I'm not going to go too much into detail for them. What I want to point out are these areas here. And they show either advisors or rulers. Now the advisors come with this squared portrait, and they usually just add a single, a certain value to a single category. The rulers come with a round portrait. And the player was actually lucky. She drew a pretty good ruler. That is Joanna. So I think what I want to do as the Poles player, I want immediately use that ruler. So I think I can simply exchange that for the interregnum. I think I didn't mention that. During the preparation, what I also did is every player was allowed to draw 1 card from each stack of action cards, and then they could choose 3 more cards, or they could choose from which stack they want to draw. Then they could apply all kinds of advisors, and you can see that here. That happened quite a bit for some players. And if you do that, you have to pay the cost. So that, for example, that did cost $2. Over here, $1. And some players had really good advisors, so they will get a lot of cubes. The Spaniards, especially. The Turks were not so lucky, though. And then in the end, they were allowed to hold up to 4 cards in their hand. And if there were still cards left, they had to discard them. Okay, so that was actually for free. I didn't have to pay anything here. So yeah, pretty cool. And so Poland, they have a queen, Joanna. And that's just to show you one of these setup cards. So they exactly tell you how to set up a kingdom, in this case in 1444. And they come also with the starting ruler. What's interesting, at the back side, you have the same kingdom. In this case, it's the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and that is 1618. And there you would use the back side of the map, which then shows also different distribution of provinces and all. I mean, they are belonging to different realms. Okay, so we start with the Turks. They have that nice first player marker, wooden. And so their goal is either to take Rhodes or Constantinople. I think I'm already not quite sure what to do. I think I'm going to go for Constantinople. And I also need, do I need 2 or 1 of the others? Let's see. Oh God. Athena, Moria, and Naxos. Okay, just one. Now the thing is, when I declare war, you want to get this war done by the end of the round. Because otherwise you get penalties. And you might not, if you go to a peace at the end of the round, you might not get the result that you want. So yeah, you gotta be careful what you want to do there. So therefore, you gotta check out if you have enough actions and enough resources to start the war and then to end it with a result that you actually want during a single round. Otherwise, it can be really painful, and you can get kind of stuck in this war, or you get some results that you didn't expect. So, gotta calculate a little bit. So it costs you a first of all, if you want to declare war, you need a casus belli, which we have. We have a claim, and a claim counts as a casus belli. We need to spend a cube, a military cube, to declare the war, but that allows us also to either move an army or to hire troops. Okay? And then we got to fight a battle, which, I mean, I don't know, I gotta see how that works out. I think these guys, I'm not quite sure, they are not in the same area. So I think actually these troops from these two provinces will not help defending Constantinople. So I think we will only see 2 enemy units fighting here. Because this is a port, we then need a ship to siege it, which we have here. And that siege would cost us another 2 cubes because it's a large city. So I think we already need kind of like, let's see, 4 cubes for that or something. Now we only have 3. There is an option to reorganize things, so you could basically get 2 additional cubes from the other spaces in here. So that could be enough. It should be enough to take Constantinople, but the problem is I'm not sure if I can take one of these 2. So I got to think about that. Actually, one important thing that I missed, I didn't reveal the events, so that's something we have to do. The first 3 events are revealed, and that is also an option for the Turks then to pick one of them. So let's see, we have the Neapolitan succession. Okay, we have Alphonse Last Testament, that is one of the options, and the guy who picks the card, he can choose what happens. At a pink, gosh. Okay, that is a pink, these are called, how are they called? These are the dynamic player realms, yeah. Okay, at pink dynamic player realms markers on Napoli, Salerno, and Bari, replacing existing towns or vassals there. Existing alliances remain. All players who lose gain a marriage. Okay, so right now nobody has a marriage there. Naples is a vassal of Aragon, but Aragon is not a player, so right now that's not so important, I guess. So Naples would basically become a dynamic player realm, which means it becomes one of these. They get these markers, and well, okay. Or we could see a disputed succession at unrest to all towns in Naples. You gain a claim in Naples. Now, because there are no towns in Naples, that would just give me a claim there. That might be interesting. And here in the first one I would get, wait a second, all players, okay, I would get 2 influence in Naples. So I can basically choose, if I take this card, between 2 influence or a claim. I don't know. I mean, that is not, I don't know if this is terribly interesting for me. Maybe it is. The other one is the disputed succession. Pick an independent realm with 1+ royal marriage on it and flip these royal marriages to their disputed side. So we either get then a war of succession, take a free declare war action targeting only that realm, gain 2 military upon declaration of war if the target is adjacent to your realm, or support for local noble. Lose 2 prestige points and gain 4 influence in the chosen realm if it is a non-player realm. Okay, so I guess the realms to choose could either be standard non-player realms or dynamic non-player realms, because both are independent. And so these disputed succession markers give every player a casus belli, and if the player whose marriage was that marker before, so for example, if I flip the marker of the Austrians to this disputed succession side, if they don't manage to clean this up in their favor, to handle this in their favor, then they will get a negative modifier. But if they do manage to do it, that gives them not a negative modifier. They get negative points. But if they do manage it, then they get positive points, and or they get points. So yeah, I'm also not sure if I really want that. I don't have a royal marriage with anybody, so for me that does not have such a massive effect either. And the last one is comet sighted. Okay. The end is nigh. All players lose 1 stability. You gain 2 diplomacy. That's not true. 2 administration, and may discard up to 3 milestones and or unpicked non-basic ideas and draw random replacements of the matching type. Or it's an omen. Choose an area adjacent to your realm. All players with towns in this area lose 1 stability. Now I could, for example, choose. I could choose this one here. I could choose Venetia, and that would then affect this guy because this is adjacent to Greece. But I think this is the only. This is the only player who has a town adjacent to my realm. That would be only Austria. So I could do that to hurt Austria, or I could choose the first one. Now there is a technology here that I don't like. This is Deus Vult. Permanent holy war casts belli against adjacent distant realms and realms with a different state religion than yours, except other Christian realms in your player realms. In what if your player realm is Christian? Oh no, actually, that would not be so bad. I thought it could be only used by Christians, but actually I think also as a Muslim, I can kind of use it as some kind of jihad or something. Just says a different state religion, doesn't say if it's Muslim or something. So it's not necessarily a penalty for me or a bad thing for me in specific. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm okay with the others. So none of these events are super hot for the Turks, actually. Maybe the Neapolitan succession isn't that bad. Getting a claim there could help me with further expansion. But, yeah, I don't know. So, I think, no, man. Okay, so I think what I want to do first is, I want to spend a cube to hire a couple of more units. I don't have that many, so I think it could be a good idea to do so. And I think I'm just gonna hire... nah, I don't know. So the thing is, I got a standard infantry costs me $2. A cavalry would cost me 5. And I cannot afford an artillery anyway. I think it costs 6, but I'm not totally sure about that. I'm thinking about getting... Do I want 2 or 3 units? During a battle, I mean, the chance... you know, I don't want to risk anything. I think I'm going to spend $6 to hire 3 additional units, and I take them here from my available pool, and I'm gonna place them right here in the army. Now, I gotta check if that is possible, but I know it is. So you cannot hire as many units as you want. There is a restriction, and that depends on the, I think it's the military capacity, that's what it's called, of the area where you're hiring your units in. So in this case, that would be Macedonia and Thrace. And I gotta, but that's not an issue here. I gotta calculate all the cities. So every standard town costs 1, and every large town costs, is worth 1, and every large town is worth 2. And then I gotta calculate, I gotta add that all up from the province where I'm standing in, and also all the adjacent provinces, including provinces that are adjacent by port. Excuse me. So this is nearly my whole realm, right? I mean, this is really, really a lot, except it might actually be, except for that province here, I think it's pretty much everything, so it's not a problem. So every point basically then allows me to hire 1 unit. So if I have, I don't know, a military capacity of 5, I could hire 5 units. But as I mentioned, this is not a problem here at all. Okay, so now I got quite an impressive army over there, and at least for the start. And this is basically the end of my action here. And now it's the French. Okay, and they have a much harder task. You know, freeing this small, I mean, Constantinople, in real, it was a big deal, but in the game here, it's actually pretty easy to take that. But getting the English out of France is not easy. And so that is one of their goals. The other one would be subjugate the French dukes. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that either. I really think I have to prepare for that war with the English. Yeah, so I guess what I want to do is, what could be interesting, if I take this disputed succession, I could kind of bring them in trouble with Portugal. And then they might be busy down here. And that might then give me the option to attack them. But I think they will pretty soon switch then to this side and start attacking me. I'm not sure what the bot does, which priority he has. But I could imagine when his towns are attacked, he will prioritize that war, and he's not going to go for the succession war. So I think what I want to do instead is I just want to prepare during this turn for that war, because yeah, that's not an easy task. So I got this action card here, the military reforms. I'm going to play that, and I got to pay the cost for that. So that is going to be 1 military cube and 2 ducats. And you can see this is kind of a special card. It shows this symbol here. So that card is not a one-shot card. Instead, it plays on the table, and I got to place 4 of my cubes from the supply on this card. And that means I can use the card 4 times. And I get then these additional actions. Innovatory tactics, gain 4 battle dice of your choice in this land battle. Military innovation, research any military idea in play, exhaust 2 uses, or increase manpower, refresh 6 manpower and permanently gain 1 additional manpower. The problem is I gotta lose 1 stability, and that then enables these actions. But I really think I want to do this if I go to war. It's tough, but I think it could be really helpful. I just don't know if I want to do it now. Maybe I should keep the card and play it next turn, because then I take the stability loss next turn, and if I should end up at -1 stability, that cost me actually -$2. We also have the comet here, which will reduce possibly the stability of players. So I got to be a little careful here. I'm not sure. Well, maybe I should rise my stability. I don't know. I don't know what to do in this situation, to be honest. What else do we have? We got a commercial growth. That's also kind of cute. Might also consider maybe getting one of these military ideas. Maybe that could help. That sounds like a really... But that will cost a lot of cubes. And I want the cubes next turn. Man, tough. So I think what I want to do is I want to play the commercial growth. I could either add an expanded trade token to a trade node of your choice, or develop one of your small towns into a large town. It's also a good advisor. That's also not bad. Maybe I should... Damn, I don't know what to do with this guy. That's a good advisor too. You know, I'm really not sure what to do here. I got so many... This is a really good card. It gives me a lot of options. The expanded trade token is cool. Developing a town is great. But I also could hire a leader for $2. But then again, I already have a pretty good leader here. So, I don't know. I think I might actually roll a die here. just, you know, roll a 3-sided die. I think I want to play that card. So let's see what happens. Oops. Okay, that is the last thing. So I'm going to spend $2 and I'm going to get myself another leader. Not a leader, but another advisor. That was not an action though. That was just a minor action. So I still have to do something else. And I think I'm going to do a trade action. So I'm going to spend a cube. I don't really know what to do at the moment, so I might as well do that. I spend a cube, and the way that works is we're simply drawing 3 of these cards, and we'll see what happens. So we could, yeah, these are cards. We have naval supplies, we got fish, and we got fur. And we want to find cards, and I'm skeptical that these are some of them, that, yeah, we want to find goods that we can trade in one of the trade nodes that we are connected to. And we are connected to a trade node if we have basically a chain of, I think it's also influence, I'm not quite sure, of influence or towns or ships from our capital to the trade node. So, for example, Genoa would be an option. We have a ship here. Bordeaux is right here. And then we got Champagne here. So these would be all valid trade nodes. We could also get a connection to the English Channel, because when you trade, you have the option to move one of your ships. But I don't know. I think that doesn't look great. This is Lübeck, North America, Baltic Sea, North Sea. Oh, there we go. Fish is actually great. Genoa. Awesome. We can do that. And we got, yeah, the fur also doesn't work, but the fish does. So that won't give us a ton of money, but a little bit. So now we got to count how much trade power we have. And first, we're going to take one of our merchants. It doesn't matter which one. It's just, we just take one of them and place him here. And this guy gives us 1 trade power. Then for every ship adjacent, we get another trade power. So there's 1 ship here. So that's already 2. And then for each of these provinces that we control, we would also get 1. So we don't control Genoa, Barcelona, Messina, Napoli, nothing. So okay, that means we got 2 trade power. That's not great. And that would mean we are here in this lowest slot. But there are also the Spaniards, and they will also profit from that. Now let's see. And that's also 1 for them because they have their merchant there. 1 for the ship. Do they control Messina, Napoli? Where is Messina? Oh, Messina is, I think, somewhere here, eh? It's down there. Look at that. No, they also don't control any of these. So we both have 2 trade power. Let's see what that tie actually means. So here's the thing. Usually we could both get income from this card. Everybody who has a guy in there and is connected gets income. But we can only 1 player can get income from a given row. So we both have 2. That means we end up both in this lowest row here. So therefore, not both of us get income. And if there's a tie, then the active player pushes the other guy down to the lower row, and that means that the Spaniards don't get anything. And I get $3. This one here would be an expanded trade note. And remember, we had that card that would have allowed us to place, to expand one of these trade notes, but I didn't do it. So that means I end now up with $3. Now, in case I wouldn't have gained anything out of these cards, I simply could have discarded all 3 cards and collect 2 ducats. And that would be fine too. But okay, so now I get $3, which isn't great. That's not a lot for a trade, but you know, it is some income that the French make here. And now we have to lay this guy down to indicate that he already activated. So this player cannot activate Genoa again as a trade note. Another player could, and although this merchant is already laid down, he can still participate in a trade when another player is activating the trade note. But yeah, the French player can't activate it again. Okay, so the Spaniards are trying to do the Reconquista. They have a claim on Andalusia, so that shouldn't be too hard to do. And so they don't get any trouble. And I wanna spend also a cube to hire additional units. Now there are only 2 defending units here because there are only 2 small provinces. So that, yeah, I mean, I think I might also hire 3 more units for 6. I might consider hiring a cavalry, but that's pretty expensive. So do I want to do that? But it's kind of cool to have a... Did I already spend something? Why is there... No. Oh yeah, I spent a lot of money for my advisors actually. So I could hire a cavalry and 2 more infantry. You know, I think this is actually something I want to do. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. I can still make more money by trading, and if you really need cash, you can go into debt. It's not good to do it, but it's an option. So I want to hire a cavalry and 2 infantry. And you will see why a cavalry can be useful. I mean, it might be overkill for these guys, but I'm going to do it. Okay, now we come to the 2 bots. Here we have this nice flow chart. And let's see what the bot does. So you start up here. I'm not going to do this every time, right? But I want to show you now, maybe a couple of times, how this works out. So we see, does he have 0 bot power left? Or is the end of action phase triggered? Well, no. I mean, this is his bot power. He starts with 9. And yeah. So we go down here. Is he under attack by enemies or rebels? No. Is there an army on the map board? And can he siege? Is his army on the map board? And can he siege in the same area? No, that's actually not the case either. Has he 3+ cubes left and 1+ colonist? Well, he doesn't have a colonist. Has he spent more cubes than he has left? Nope. Has he any bot cards left? Yes. So we go here and he draws a bot card and he has to spend the shown cost. So let's do that. Okay, so that shows 1 cube. So he's got to spend a cube. That goes now in here. And this symbol next to it indicates that we have to discard a military card. So this is simply gone. This goes here. And Then let's see, it says unrest or focus war. So we simply continue now here, and it says, is he at war? And the card has a war action. Well, he's not at war. Perform the first action on the card. So the unrest action basically helps him to get rid of unrest. So did the action take effect? No. Perform the second action on the card, if any. Okay, so we do this. So we go to focus war. So we see we have tons of additional oh, wait a second. I wonder actually, maybe I didn't do the unrest right. Just see that. It says unrest. Owns he any provinces with unrest? No. Has he less than 2 core provinces in prey and can a core token? Now that's interesting. I don't think he can place a core province token. No, he can't. No, because to do that, you need to own all provinces in a given area, which is not one of your core provinces, and that's not the case. Does he own all the provinces in an eligible area with a higher total tax value than the current core province area? What? Does he own all the provinces in an eligible area? No. No, that's not the case. Perform the second action on the card. Okay, so there's nothing we did there. So that means now we go to the focus action, which is down here. Does he? And we have these focus areas here. And that is basically researching ideas. Does he have any cubes? Nope. In the focus area, no, he doesn't. Place the cube spent in the focus area named on the card. So that means focus war. So we simply take this one and place it here in warfare. Okay. Has he 2 or 3? That depends on the strength. You can adjust the bot strength. And if you have him on easy, he needs 3 to discover a technology. I'm going to have him on standard, and if I'm right here, that means he needs only 2. But anyway, he doesn't have any of those, so it goes here, put aside the bot card. This is not reshuffled this age, and then the turn ends. So that's it. Now, it was a little longer because I really went through everything in detail, but it's pretty, I think, that's actually pretty easy. I think usually I would have just drawn the card, realized there's no unrest, and then now I know that sometimes you can place a core token there, and then you just place a focus here, and that's the bot's action. So that goes pretty quickly, right? Now, I already mentioned that some of the cards have been removed already, and in this case, this one is now also removed, so I'm going to place it underneath to indicate that this is not reshuffled during this age. Now we come to the second bot, and he's in the same situation. He's not under attack or anything, so we're simply going to draw a bot card here, and look at that, it's nearly the same thing, except that this time it's a focus on economy. So let me just quickly have a look if there could be any trouble with the core province thing, but I don't see that. So what that means is we simply take one of the cubes and place it here on the economy, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. And the card also goes underneath the deck. So that was pretty easy. And now we go to the polls. So the polls, they're going to play the development card. That's going to cost them 2 administrative and $3. One of their goals, I haven't picked that right now, is to, I think they want to gain Warsaw, and they want to get 3 large cities. And this is the card you need if you want to improve your cities. You cannot do this with a standard action. You can do it with a development card, though. There might be another one. I thought the this economic growth, I think that also works. But yeah, the development card is really good for that. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna spend 2 of these admin cubes and $3. It's not cheap. And that now gives us 4 uses for this. Developing a city costs 2 of these uses though, so but that's enough. That would be enough. We already have 1 large city here, Krakow. So if we use this card to develop 2 more cities, we're already getting closer to this other goal there. So that's not bad. Okay, and we're through the turn. It's, you know, it's not a big deal. I mean, things are moving quickly. Sometimes you can get caught in a more complicated situation when it comes to, specifically when it comes to war. But usually it's not that hard to do it. So let's see. We're back with the Turks. Now the Turks have their army, and now they want to go to war. So what they're going to do is they simply use this one here to declare war on Constantinople. Now there's a pretty big, there is kind of a procedure through that, all the kind of things you can do, but nothing of this really applies here. So one of the things is Constantinople could call for arms if they had any allies or something, which they don't have. I could do the same if I had allies, which I don't have. Yeah, and then one of the things that could happen now is, I think it doesn't happen though. There could be now a sea battle, because now we are technically in hostile areas. But I think that's not the case, because I was there. I gotta check that. Okay, so this is a little bit strange. It says, if any ships on either side of this war are now located in a hostile sea zones, naval battles will take place. So technically this is the case here. These ships are now in a hostile sea zone because the Aegean Sea is now hostile because Constantinople has a connection to this. So I think there should be a naval battle. But it says here, no battle is triggered with an NPR if there were unit ships hostile to that NPR present in the area prior to... okay, I think I get it. So if you already would be at war with somebody else, yeah, then there would be no battle. But because I wasn't hostile before, I got to go to battle now with these guys. So, because this is a large city, I think they have 2 fleets, but they might also get they might also get fleets from these guys. Now things are getting a little more complicated. Okay, I didn't realize that these also count. That would give that would give Constantinople 2 additional ships. I didn't realize that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow to hire these guys. They did that. They hired, in the last turn, they hired a couple of soldiers. They could have also built ships. And because they got here Izmir and also this one here, Hyda Vendiga. They got enough they got a lot of ports adjacent to the Aegean Sea. I'm going to spend $4 to build 2 galleys adjacent here. I can immediately put them in the Aegean Sea, and I'm going to also place them in my fleet. and maybe one here in the trade node. I'm not quite sure if these guys are allowed to fight. I gotta check that too. But I want to do that before I declare war. And if I had known that these guys also count, I just didn't see it, I would have done that. So let's see, we might see now the war. I gotta check if these are also allowed to fight, if they are protecting the trade node or not. Okay, so we're ready to go. I declared war, and we're gonna go now to this battle flow chart. And again, this is something you usually don't have to do, but because it's the first one, it's a naval battle, which is also kind of special. I don't want to do. I want to do it. So the attacker may appoint or assign a general to their army. Well, I wonder if I can also assign an admiral. I think I could, but I don't want to, I guess. That would cost me additional points, so I don't want to do that. Is the defender a human player? No. A bot? No. Place NPR units in this area equal to the total naval capacity of all NPR defenders. So the vassal will also defend. These are small provinces. They have a naval capacity of 1. Constantinople has 4. So we're going to grab 4 ships. And, well, for now I'm just going to throw them in here. Okay. Okay. Areas that contain units belonging to NPRs. Enemy do not contribute. Neither do areas. Okay. If defending rebel NPR units is greater than 3, and there are no player realm defenders, draw a military card to see if the rebel forces are commanded by a leader. Yeah, that could go wrong now. So let's see. And that is not the case. This is an advisor. If that would be a round portrait like this, they would have an admiral, but that's not the case. Okay, account for military ideas that take effect prior to the battle dice rolls. That's also not the case here. Now we play the battle action cards, which we don't do either because I want to save cubes. Roll battle dice. Okay, so both of us do this, and right now, because it's a naval battle, we roll the blue dice, and every cannon is a hit. So the attacker is the Turks, so we start with them. Now, yeah, I guess that's what we do. So in a land battle now, I could use this guy, Mehmet II, as a general. That would give me 3 additional blue dice, but you cannot never use rulers as admirals. So yeah, it's gonna work. So we got these 3 dice, and that's it. So we roll. Okay, we got 2 cannons, so that's 2 hits. I gotta remember that. These go away. And here, wow, they do 3 hits. Now you only do inflict hits if you actually do have enough units. So for every, if they only had, for example, 2 units, they would still have rolled 3 dice, but then they would only have inflicted 2 hits. But because they have 4 units and the dice are rolled simultaneously, they actually do inflict the full number of hits. So that means I lose 3 of my ships, which is pretty bad. But these ships are also included, the ones here. I have them. I have all of them here. So I got, well, I might. Yeah, okay. So I got still 3 ships left, and they got 2 ships left. Okay. So now we go to the second round of battle. They will not retreat or something because they are defending their capital. So I attack again. Okay, I got 2 hits. That's good. So I wipe them out. It's clear that I won the battle now because they cannot destroy all my 3 units because they have only 2 ships left. But they destroyed another 2 ships. So that means my fleet took a really bad hit from that. I have lost 5 of my ships, and that was very, very painful. But okay, I managed to destroy the fleet. And because I won a battle, that gives me a new cube. If you win a battle, you get a military cube back if you are the attacker, if you are the active player, not if you are the defender. But that happens only once per turn. So if there are more than 1 battle per turn, you only get 1. You still only get 1. Okay, so now our army is in the same area as the province. So that means we will now have, immediately following the naval battle, we will now also have a land battle. Now this time, these provinces are not in this area, so they will not contribute to the defending force. Instead, we only have to fight 2, because this thing is a large city, we only have to fight 2 non-player units, so we simply can take 2 here, okay, and then we'll go to war. Now I could choose if I want my ruler, but I don't know, he might get wounded or something, and he's a really good guy, so I don't really want to do that. I don't want to take that risk. They will not get a ruler because they only have 2 units. So therefore, we can now simply roll the battle dice, and I'm not going to take any commander. Again, I lied. These 2 will actually contribute to the army of Constantinople because they are adjacent. And that means it's simply the military capacity of this area, and that includes also adjacent provinces. So therefore, these guys actually do have 4. And that makes them much more dangerous, because now they might be able to draw a leader. And you know what? Actually, I think I will now commit Mehmed II also as a leader to my force, because it's not as easy as I thought. Now let's see what they have. And they also do have a leader. They have, I don't know, General Christopher, and this guy gives them 2 blue dice. So that could be a tough battle. So let's see. I'm the attacker, and in a land battle, your base dice are not the blue ones, but the white ones. And then I'm going to add 3 dice, 3 blue dice for Mehmed II, and we're going to go to battle. Now the thing is, I just realized that now, because I'm Muslim, I get a special advantage. I could use, instead of these dice, the white dice, I could use these horse dice, the cavalry dice, as base dice. Now I wonder if that would give me an advantage. I mean, they have 3, maybe they are a little bit better, I'm not sure. These have artillery and a white one. So if I roll, yeah, There are definitely two sides that don't help me at all. You know, I think I want to do that. I think I'm going to take these 3 instead. So this is my dice pool. And I can do that, as I said, because I'm Muslim. So let's see. Well, how many sides do they have? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they only have 3 that actually... That's okay. Okay, so that means this thing here is only a single hit. I mean, all these are only single hits because I only have a single cavalry unit. So I do overall 4 hits. These also only count as a single hit. So overall I do 4 hits, but that's enough to destroy the army of Constantinople. But they can also roll, and they will roll their 3 base dice and 2 more for their leader. Okay, that was really poor. They did 4 cannons, but they don't have any, so it's only a single hit. I was really lucky there. So I lose 1 unit, and this unit goes now to exhausted. And they lose their whole army. So that was pretty terrible for them. Now this time, although I won a battle again, I don't get a military cube. And this is it. This is the end of the turn. Constantinople, I still have to siege Constantinople. I did not win the battle yet, but that was a good start. Well, the French don't have that much to do. They want to save some cubes for the next turn when they fight their war against against England. So I think what I want to do is I want to do a diplomatic action, and that would allow me to place pretty much any number of diplomatic influence in any provinces, with the restriction that I can only place up to 2 in the same province, and there may not be more than 5 cubes overall by all the players in one single province. But right now I want to place 1 here in Languedoc. My goal is to vassalize Provence and Anjou. They kind of, I think they belong together. Yeah. So I'm going to need 3 influence to do that. And I'm going to need a special card. I don't have the card, which is a problem. But now at least I got the influence already in there. So therefore, yeah, I think it makes sense to do this. And that's an action. I don't see any reason to spend more cubes at the moment. As I said, this is not going to be a big turn for me. The next one will. So then it's the Spaniards, and they did recruit an army. So now I'm also thinking about going to battle. If I declare war on Andalusia, that's a little bit tricky, because then my ships are in 2 hostile sea zones. But they only have a single naval capacity there. I'm not quite sure what that means, to be honest. I probably have to fight in one of the 2 sea zones then a war. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. So I'm going to start this. Declare war on... Oh, by the way, I forgot to place these war tokens here. So I should have done that. I should have placed a war token here. Also, one should go to Constantinople, but I think I don't have to do this necessarily. And now, because the Castile also declared war, I'm going to place a war marker here on my capital, just to indicate that. Okay, so now yeah, we're gonna have a naval battle again. And as I said, I'm not quite sure. Gibraltar seems to be adjacent. This port sign here, this actually represents an island. So if you want to siege Gibraltar, you will need a ship. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure how that works, to be perfectly honest. I think what we see is only one of the two sea zones get attacked because Gibraltar only has a naval capacity of 1. There are 2 sea zones adjacent, so I'm pretty sure we're not going to fight in both of them. So I guess Gibraltar has a single ship, and we're going to fight, I don't know, I'm going to do that randomly. On a 1 to 3, we're going to fight in the Central Atlantic. Okay, so that's where the battle takes place. And let's see. And by the way, we are allowed a free movement. I gotta check that. I think we can do that at the very end of this turn. Let's see. First, we're going to do the battle. So I attack, and that is a hit. So the fleet is destroyed, but they might also hit. It's not unlikely. And they do. So my ship is also destroyed. So there's no winner in that war. And that means I don't get a cube back. But now I gotta check if I still have the option to move my army, because usually when you declare a war, you can, as I already mentioned, you can either hire troops for free or you can move the army for free. I'm not sure if this is kind of interrupted now by that loss of the naval war. Okay, so here's the problem. I cannot, because there was now a battle triggered, it actually stops my future actions. I cannot move my land unit anymore. That kind of sucks. Even if I would have won, I could not have moved it. But that did cost me basically a whole cube for the declaration of war, which might I think I can still finish the war, though. I think I can still besiege the 2 cities and win the war in... I only have 1 cube left, but that's okay, because I can do this reorganization action and get 2 additional cubes in there. So I should be okay, I guess. Okay, but that was that. That was the Spanish action. It was only this small naval battle. And now again we come to the bots. And again, there's nothing specific going on, so he will simply draw a bot card. So let's see what that says. And the bot goes for the event. Interesting. So yeah, he picks an event. Okay, let's go through the flowchart. So he's not taken the event action yet, so that means we got to roll a die, and that's what this die is for. It's only for the bot. So we roll a 5. There we go. Is his own event revealed? And that is not the case. There is no event which specifically applies to him. Is he at war with an opponent whose event is revealed? Nope. So that means it goes here, pick the leftmost revealed event, gain 1 cube if there are ducats on the event. Well, that is not the case. Okay, so this is the comet sighted. Is this an opponent's event? No, it's not. So that means he's got to resolve option A on the event. That sucks. Okay. So, the end is nigh. All players lose 1 stability. Okay, so yeah, that was bad. Maybe one of these guys should have taken the other option. Okay, the bots don't have this stability issue. You gain 2 diplomacy. Now instead of diplomacy cubes, he simply gains 2 additional cubes. So we take them from the supply and we give them to the bot. Okay. You may discard up to 3 milestones and or unpicked non-basic ideas and draw random replacements of the matching type. Oh boy. What does that, how does that work? Is there anything specific going on here? I don't know. I have no clue if I want to do that or not. I guess I'm simply gonna ignore that. I don't see anything here that applies to this. I think it's probably ignore non-applicable effects. It's not really that, but it doesn't say anything here. I could randomize a little bit or something, but I don't really see a reason for that. I don't see anything here in the rules that says that. No, I don't think that. I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna do anything about that. Okay. And that's it. And now we go to these secondary events down here. This one, I think, says it's kind of a rebel event, so we're going to check that. Yeah, it says here resolve secondary effects. And then we still have to go on, actually, but first let's do the effects of that card. These are things that I still have to look up. There is a lot. It says here Unrest Rebellion. All players must roll a rebel die for each of their provinces with unrest. Okay, that's not the case. Nobody is in unrest. So this thing has no effect at all. And the last thing that happens is here, this is this illness token. All the characters which are square get an illness marker. And let's see. So you can see here, this guy has, for example, a triangle, but we have here 2 characters with a square. So maybe it was a mistake. It definitely was a mistake to bring them into play right away. We could have known, I think, that there was a square, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe not. I'm not sure about the... If you... maybe not. I think that was... I don't know if you immediately... No, I think so, yeah. I think first these cards are revealed, and then you decide if you want to do that. So yeah, that was a stupid blunder. Maybe I should have... You know, actually I think... Because this is a minor action to do, maybe I should allow him... Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna continue here. Sometimes you make that mistakes, but that was really a stupid mistake. Okay, the thing is, if there are 2 markers on such a card, the guy will simply die. Which is, yeah. So actually, yeah, this is basically their aging, or if they take any, you know, if they get ill or anything. And as I mentioned, if there are 2 markers, they will die. So that wasn't great. Okay, so this card is now simply discarded. I'm gonna make a discard pile here, I guess. And that's it. No, it's not. That's not true. Actually, the bot is still active. Has he 10 or more cubes? And I think he actually does. 4, maybe not. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has exactly 10. And he has less than 8 large cities. So that means he spends 2 cubes to develop a small city into a large city. Prefer core province than provinces without unrest. Okay, so these are all core provinces, and in these situations he goes usually alphabetically. So I think his core province, yeah, I think he's going to go for Essex. So that means this one goes back, and instead he grabs this one. Okay. And that's it. He's done. And now we move this over here, indicating that he already triggered the event. What happens now is 2 bucks will go onto the events that were not drawn. And the players that pick these events in the future, they will get the money on here. So there could some stuff could pile up there. Then we draw a new card, and it says the Hungarian throne. Insist on restoring union. Austria gains 1 victory point and a claim in both Royal Hungary and Hungarian Plain. From all marriages in Hungary to the disputed succession side, you gain a military. There is a marriage of Austria in Hungary. Or accept a Hungarian monarch. Austria loses 2 victory points but gains 2 influence in any Hungarian areas. You, so the player, gains 2 diplomacy. So this is kind of interesting for, yeah, if you want to screw the Austrians. Okay. So next it's Austria. And damn, I realize I don't have a lot of memory left, but let's see. Okay, maybe we can still go there. So Austria also has an unrest again. So they will spend a cube. They discard a diplomacy card. And then, let's go through this again, but I'm pretty sure what happens is they will now place the cube in this section, and they will probably get, let's see, let's go to that one. They will now be able to reach a milestone, I think. Well, let's do this. Where is that? It's the focus. There we go. And any focus, yes, there is already a focus marker. Place the focus spent in this focus area. So this goes here, although it says here politics, but that doesn't matter. He has now 2 focus in this focus area. So a milestone matching the focus type is available. Yeah, we got focus power, this one here. And that means the milestone, score a milestone matching the focus type. Gain 2 bots and score the prestige points, and gain 2 bot points and bot power from here, and score the thing as normal. So that means he gets 5 points for that, because he's the first one to do that. That's pretty impressive. We're going to mark that. There we go. And that gives him 5 victory points, and he's the first one to score victory points at all. Okay, discard all cubes from the focus area. Okay, so these 2 go now away. And we go on, put aside the bot card, not reshuffled during this age. So the goal of the Poles is to vassalize Prussia. or 3 plus, but okay, they want to vassalize Prussia. Now, to do that, you first need an alliance with these guys. So, let's have a quick look here. How to forge an alliance. I think we need actually 2 influence there. Overall, if we want to vassalize these guys, we need influence equal to the tax value of the cities. So we need 4 influence. And so I want to do that. I want to try to do that. So first I need more influence. I need more diplomatic power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reorg or change national focus action. I can only do this once per turn or once per round. So I'm going to take a marker, a cube, and place that here to indicate that I already did this. And now what I can do is I can focus on one of my categories, and I can bring one from here and one from here, for example, into diplomacy. I don't have to do it. I can only bring one from military power here and leave the one in here, but I want as many in diplomacy as possible because, yeah, I want to be really diplomatically active. What I could do now is I could discard these cards and then grab one less card than the ones I discarded. I'm not sure if that's actually true. If it was only 3, if there was a limit. I'm not sure about that. Maybe there was a limit, but I don't know that. But I could definitely, I could draw one less card than the ones that I discarded, maybe with a limit of 2 or something. But I think that's not the case. No, I remember. So you discard your hand of cards if you want to do that, or a number of cards, and you can draw one less than the one you discarded. But up to 2 of these cards that you then draw could be cards from a discard pile. It has to be the top 5 from the top 5 cards of the discard pile. And if you want to do that, you have to spend $2 for each card. So for example, if I had 5 cards, I could discard them. I could draw 4 cards from here. And 2 of these 4 cards could come from any discard pile. But for those cards, I had to spend $2 per card. I hope that makes sense. Okay, but I need these cards. That's not quite true. I don't really need the study technology card, but I need the subjugate card. But if I only discard a single card, that doesn't help me because, yeah, you can only draw one less card. So I'm going to keep these cards. And that was then the end of my action. So I think at that point I'm going to load it up. It's already very long, although not that much happened. And yeah, hope to see you on the next video on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.